Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you my BMW 328i and what I've done over the past 7 years. This is a 2008 model, so I've had it for a long time and I've done a lot of stuff to it. I like to work on things. I love electronics. I like programming. I like software. I like all of that. So it's actually more fun for me to work on things than it is for me to just have something that's already done. So this car started out as a 3 Series, and over the years we've gotten closer and closer to turning it into an M. Now, a lot of people essentially will go out and spend $100,000 and buy an M. Now, I bought this used. It had 20K miles on it, and it was nowhere near $100,000. So this is basically a budget M. What we've done is we've done all the aesthetic modifications that we can do by hand, and drilling a hole into the engine block to return the oil sump from the turbo is something that I just don't want to do. I don't want to drill, I don't want to bore a hole and thread it in this engine. I don't want to tune a turbo. I want this done by a professional. So I've done everything that I can do other than turbocharging it. And once this car is turbocharged, it's going to have a very similar horsepower to an M of 2008. And also the aesthetic look is obviously pretty damn close to an M. So the first thing that we did, and there are a lot of modifications to go over. First one is these headlights. Essentially, the old headlights are just halogen, and they really don't look nice at all. The new ones, as you can see, look really nice. They're a projector. This is an LED bar, and then there's a high intensity discharge bulb, and then another one in there. So these are great headlights. They illuminate the road a lot better, and they just look a lot nicer too. They make the car look a lot sportier. That little M badge, that little M badge there is actually controlled by a relay. So what I've done is I've wired it so that when I press this button here, it will actually turn on that little light and I can turn it off. Now, I was also considering maybe putting like a photo sensor here so it would automatically turn on at night and illuminate, but I kind of like the fact that I can leave it on when the car is off, which is kind of cool. And this relay is very low drain, so it does not kill the battery. The next thing is this grill here. This grill is not the common chrome grill. It's just been painted the sparkling graphite, the same color that the car's been painted. So that's about it as far as modifications on the front of the car. Let's move on to the wheels. The wheels, as you can see, are painted black. Now, not only did it take me a tremendous amount of time to paint these wheels, it was also really painstaking because you have to take off each individual wheel. You have to completely remove all the old curb rash. Keep in mind that, you know, over the years, you try really hard not to scratch your rims, but inevitably it's going to happen after driving for 8 years or so. So getting rid of them with the Dremel, getting rid of the scratches is really difficult. You have to come in here and you have to use the Dremel properly. You have to make it really smooth. You have to do a lot of sanding. Then you have to do a lot of priming, and then you have to do a lot of the regular coat and then the clear coat. And it has to be the proper temperature paint. It has to be paint specifically designed for wheels. Same thing with the caliper. It has to be very high temperature paint. And yeah, it's not something that you're gonna, you know, spend an afternoon and complete. It's a whole day process. It's gonna take, you know, 10, 15, 20 hours to paint 4 rims. It is a crazy process. It's even more difficult than doing, you know, taking off the entire bumper to put on the headlights. That was kind of hard too. You have to take off the entire bumper just to put on the new headlights, which is a big process, big job, probably 100 screws. You have to take off the wheel fender liners. You just have to unscrew pretty much everything. So next thing, it's actually going to be on the inside of the car. It's going to be the subwoofer. So we'll open up the trunk. And on the left, you'll see the emergency roadside kit, a fire extinguisher, and then here is a first aid kit. And here is a subwoofer. It's a JL Audio. It's run by a Roxford Fosgate 500 watt amp. There's a line output converter here to grab the stereo signal from the head unit. The amp's back here. The battery is right under here, so it's easy to wire it. Also, there's an exhaust cutout. That's wired to the battery, and that's under here. You'll be able to see it. It's right there. So that will allow me to bypass the muffler whenever I want to, make the car sound nice and sporty. Or when I'm in a neighborhood or somewhere where I want to be nice and quiet, it also allows me to run through the muffler. Here's a backup camera that we installed. As you can see, it's kind of hot glued in so that no water leaks in. The last one that I had broke after a couple years, and this one's been good for 2 or 3 years now. So that basically means that there was just water getting into it and killing it. So before we open the car, every BMW has this, but you just hold down the unlock button on the keychain and it will start to undo all the windows. Now if you want to close those windows, you have to actually take the little key out, insert it into here, and click lock, and it will make that clicking noise, and then it will go on to rolling up the windows. So now let's unlock the car again. So you'll know that this car has motorized folding mirrors. If you own a BMW, you just press this button here and it will unfold the mirrors. I have a really narrow garage, so I do it every time I come in here. All right, let's turn on the car just so you can hear what it sounds like. So this is with the exhaust cut out open so that there's no muffler. So the muffler is bypassed. And I dig it. I really like the sound of it. It's really amazing. You can't really hear it. Let me put the windows down. All right, now let me close the exhaust cutout. As you can hear, that groan is gone. Now it doesn't have as much of a kick to it, but I still love it. Okay, next thing. I don't have my phone with me right now, but I'm just gonna kind of show you. Once your phone's in here, this instantly pairs with Bluetooth over your phone automatically, and then it will allow me to control the music on my phone with the steering wheel controls. This car used to have like an old little head unit here. I threw this new head unit in, and I really love it. Like I can't complain. It's also got some other really cool features. If we go here, it's got maps. This can connect to your phone. It's got onboard diagnostics, so you can diagnose your car straight from the head unit. You don't even need to take it to a mechanic. You could just figure out what fault codes are coming up right from the head unit on the car itself. We have, obviously, like I said, the maps. We have AirPlay, so you can basically view your phone on here. Dash command is another OBD. We have web browsing, calendar. You could check your mail. There's a voice search, and then this head unit is supposed to kind of look like a BMW iDrive kind of thing, and I like it. It's pretty nice. We have this under seat lighting here, and it's controlled by this central disc in here, and I can change the color of it. I can also make it flashing colors. I like the slow color fade, or just keeping it on like red, blue, or even orange. So the orange actually matches the car's theme the best. So yeah, let me see if I can play something so you can kind of hear the subwoofer. It's really hard to hear how amazing it is over camera. But the other thing is that there are some subwoofers under the seats. So down here, there's two Pioneer 12, one on this side, one on that side, and then I showed you the subwoofer in the trunk. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna try and find a radio station that will come in. It doesn't really, the radio doesn't really do it a great, so I can't find like a song. It's really gonna show you how much bass. But it's very smooth bass.
By the time
I think you'd really have to be here to experience it. Like, you'd actually have to 100% be sitting in this car to feel the amazing amount of clear bass that it has. Up here on the tweeter, there's a capacitor that I installed on each one so that there's no backwards subwoofer draw into the high end. And what that basically does is it means that once I've installed the amp in addition to the one that's already in this car, since it's grabbing the signal from the head unit, it could also create noise and kind of like a static through the tweeters, and so the capacitor fixes that. And so this car is literally just one of the best for sound. Like, you sit in here and it is fucking amazing. I can't even describe how amazing it is. The subwoofer is just like, it's not that type of bass that rocks the whole car and makes everything shake. It's just, you can feel it in your chest. It's strong, it's very smooth, and I love it. There's a radar detector here, and this is directional. So if, you know, the radar is coming from ahead of me, it will show me, you know, the range, and then it will show me the direction. If it's coming from behind, it will show me, you know, the direction or the sides. So this will actually show you where that radar signal is coming from, and it can help you with, you know, false positives. It can also help you with, you know, just being able to identify where the radar signal is coming from, which is really, really helpful. The last thing that I want to show you before I'm done with my tour is the projector lights. Obviously this car is tinted. That's not something that comes with the car. You're gonna have to get the windows tinted. I went to a professional because just something I refuse to do myself, you know, do a sloppy job. Rather let someone who does it all the time do it. So I came over to this side because I want to open this door. I'll show you the headlights. But it's locked, so let me unlock it. Okay. Now we can come over to this side. And it's really hard to see because the lights aren't in here, but it's projecting the BMW logo onto the ground next to the door. Right there, when you open it. And I thought that's a pretty cool feature. I really like it. I guess really the last thing I can show you is how the relay for that M badge is wired. We can open the engine hood, and I will show you. Alright, so essentially we have a relay, the wireless relay module, which is just mounted right here. And what this does is it grabs power from the battery and it just grounds out right here. And then basically whenever I press that button on the remote switch, it will allow the power to flow from the battery to this M badge here. And that's it. It's really not that complex. It's pretty simple, and I think it looks pretty awesome. Let me go ahead and turn on the M badge so you can see the entire front of the car looks like. The headlights on and the M badge. We just press this little button. So there you go. So yeah, so stay tuned because in the future I'm going to be uploading turbo videos and whatever else I'm doing to this car. And please leave a comment, tell me what you think about it. Thanks for watching.